Hello again and welcome back to the Old Paths. We had a much better weekend this weekend. $600, 13 orders. We're ecstatic about that. Stay tuned and we'll tell you all about it. Alright, so we have 13 orders for $609.33, and we have a special guest camera lady today. This ain't Tanya, but it is Bailey. My daughter is holding the camera today. Won't let me video her, but she is right behind the camera, so we appreciate her being here. But we will start off with these Sylvania Bears 5-piece lot. That sold for $9.67. We sold this Ace LED rechargeable light. It sold for $12.89. Sold another one of the Philadelphia Eagles flags, garden flags, reversible. That one sold for $6.10. Still got 13 of those available if any Eagles fans are watching. Then we sold this WWE Christian action figure from back in the day, $7.99 on him. And sold this vintage Westland giftware Forever in Blue jeans. I have had that so long, probably the entire time we've been in this shed. It sold for $9.09, but we've had that for like 4 years probably, so glad to see that finally go. Then we sold this. I'm going to take this out and show you. This is a vintage Marvel pillowcase. It's got Thor. I'm upside down. It's got Thor on the one side. I can't see everybody there. Captain America, Iron Man. Opposite side has Silver Surfer, Wolverine, and is that Spider-Man? Spider-Man. Bailey, make sure I'm not telling lies. But this thing is like from the 70s, I believe it was. Has a tag somewhere. And maybe I lied. Maybe there is no tag. But it's in great shape. Like, it's still got its crease marks and everything, but it sold for 20 bucks on sale. It would have sold for about 30. So if you find stuff like that, you know, for $1, it's worth picking up for sure. But like that sale. Then we sold this vintage black Schaefer. I think that's the right one. Might be. Targa fountain pen, and it sold for $38.32. Sold a Nintendo game. This is Xevious the Avenger. I think it's the way you say that. $10.86. Has the sleeve. Sold a really cool belt buckle. We sold this one once before and it got returned because it wasn't as shiny as they thought it was going to be. People return stuff for every reason, but they did damage my box not in the return, but they just damaged my box. So I had to sell it a little cheaper, but it's a Tony Lama United States of America belt buckle. It is pretty cool. It sold for $49.87. It would have been about a $70 belt buckle, $60. And finally we sold this Repeat the Sounding Joy Christmas musical, Brentwood musical. These are new. They're still in the sealed cassette, and it has the song. Bailey would probably know this is probably sheet music for this right here, or it's a playbook or something like that. It is a Christmas play musical. Then we'll go over the bigger sales here. We did sell a couple of bigger things. Show you these up close and personal. This Pokemon jacket, I knew this would take some time because it had the name Anthony embroidered on it. But it has the Pokemon over here, and on the back it has the really big Pikachu logo, and it's part, I don't think that's real leather, but you know, like leather. But it sold for $132.99. So don't overlook jackets and stuff like that, especially when there's something to that effect. Then we sold this porcelain doll. These are high-end porcelain dolls. This one is Mundia Rave de Porcelain Christina at Cecil Collectible Angie. And she just sold for $153.99 on sale. She was $209 or something like that originally. And with the sale we're running, she sold for $153. But that's still really good money because we got $10 in each doll. Then Tanya turned around and sold another set of silverware. We had somebody comment on the Two Old Guys Reselling podcast the other day about that we had taught them about flatware. Listen, don't overlook silverware. These 4 spoons are Oneida Deluxe Rushmore. 4 spoons sold for $67.89. We've got like tons of this. I've got 9 more listings of these 4 at a whack if I want to keep doing it that way. Just crazy good money. And I think that is it. So yep, 13 orders for $609 and some change. All right, so there we go. There is 13 orders for $610. We will take that, especially when we still haven't listed. That's a great weekend. So I hear this debate about what constitutes a part-time reseller, what constitutes a full-time reseller. I don't think there's any criteria, if you will, to set in stone that says this makes you a full-time reseller. Obviously, if it's the only job you have, you don't go to a 9-to-5 and you do this basically 40 hours a week, I think we could all kind of agree that you're a full-time reseller there. But if you're working a 9-to-5 and you're doing this on the side, I can see the argument about how you're a part-time reseller. But then maybe you're working your 40-hour-a-week job and you're putting in considerable amount of hours here also. Maybe you got 2 full-time jobs. So that's our topic for the day, just kind of going over what constitutes full-time, part-time, and can you make enough to justify doing this on the side as a part-time quote. I quote that because that is left up to your interpretation of full-time, part-time. But can you make enough money doing this quote part-time to make it worth your while? My opinion is yes, you can make enough money. On our days off, when I was still full-time in the workforce, we would go yard selling every Saturday. I wasn't doing eBay full-time or nowhere near, and still making, $2,000 a month as passive, not really passive income, but as side money that wasn't my only main source of income, because I still had that 40-hour-a-week job, still doing that and doing this on the side. So I think the answer to that question is it's going to be what you make it. If you make it to be a 10-hour-a-week venture, you list, you pack, you do everything you do about 10 hours a week, there is a number in there somewhere that is going to produce for you at that range. If you put 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week, 40 hours a week, obviously the more work you actually do on eBay will produce you more tangible results. Like here lately, I've not listed in close to 90 days. I thought we would be basically moved in and ready to start listing by now, but it's took a little longer for the contractor and all that kind of stuff. But I am going to try to start listing back here at this shed. So this weekend, I shared with you $610, 13 orders. That is a stellar weekend when you have not listed in 90 days. I'm telling you that thrilled me. Now, I do miss those weekends where we would make 1,200, 1,300, 1,000, 1,500 even. Those were nice, and I look to get back to that very soon. But even as part-time, if you're making an extra 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, even if you're making $500 a month, That's $500 a month you didn't have. So you're supplementing your income. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, you're just part-time. I mean, what are you doing on the side, pal? Are you working 40 hours a week? Because if you're part-time in this and working 40 hours a week, there's a good chance you're out working a lot of the workforce. There is a lot of people out there that do their 40 and go to the house, do their 40 and go to the house. And no disrespect to that. I used to do 60 to 70 hours a week. I was absolutely trying to kill it. We was trying to get our house paid off, all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate the grind. I appreciate those that go out and work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. But don't let people demean you and say, oh, you're just a reseller. Listen, however you feed your family is honorable as long as it's moral. You know, I don't agree with some things, but if you're doing it ethically and morally and you're doing good hard work, there is nothing to be ashamed of. If you're flipping hamburgers at a fast food restaurant and people are making fun of you, you know what? Don't be ashamed that you're working, that you're putting food on your table. Reselling is no different. People look at this and they say, oh, you're a reseller. You have absolutely zero idea what I am when you say something like that. A reseller is somebody that most of the time we get out there and grind. We're hunting for the stuff that people are looking for, and we know that. And we are putting it on eBay. We're putting it on Poshmark. We're putting it on Mercari. We're putting it on whatnot. We're putting it on all these different platforms to make just a little bit of money, you know, to try to turn a profit, to put food on the table. So don't be demeaned and ashamed, and don't let anybody put you down over what you do. And if you're just starting out, take my advice and take it slow, grow it slow. You know, I kind of jumped in head first, and we grew a little faster than we probably should, but don't be afraid to take it slow. Don't feel like you're failing if you take it slow either. There's nothing wrong with slow growth. Nothing wrong with getting there. Sorry about the phone. Nothing wrong with getting there, but just keep doing your best, and I'm sure you will make it. All right, guys. Well, thank you once again for tuning in to the Old Pass. We appreciate you being here. So happy we had a good week. Thank you for encouraging us with all your subscriptions, all your support. We should have an update in the next week or so about a live over at the Two Old Guys Reselling podcast, so stay tuned to that. And until next time, keep seeking the Old Pass.